Hi students, welcome to Sri Chaitanya e-learning and welcome to our second year English classes. I am Srinivas, the faculty of English. What did we learn in our last session? Punctuation marks. All the punctuations in our language, in English language, have been categorized into three categories. How many categories? Three categories. What are they? In punctuation marks, internal punctuation marks, and word punctuation marks. Right? Yes. In our last session, we have completed the first part, the first category, that is end punctuation marks. Right? Yes. In this session, we are going to discuss the internal punctuation marks. What are internal punctuation? The title itself implies that internal means internal punctuation marks are the forms of punctuations that go inside a sentence. Yeah, internal means inside, right? Yes. Can you guess what they are? Yes. Often we use comma in the sentence, right? Like that, there are 5 internal punctuations are there. One is semicolon, second one is colon, third one is comma, and fourth one is inverted commas, and last one is ellipses. Okay, let us discuss first what the internal punctuation marks and how do we use them. Okay, right. Okay, internal punctuations. As we discussed, there are 5 internal punctuations are there. That is one semicolon, colon, comma, quotation marks, and ellipses. Let us begin with semicolon. What is semicolon? How the symbol is that? The symbol of semicolon is a full stop. Under that there is a comma. Right? It signifies a long pause in a sentence. The pause is greater than a comma and weaker than a full stop. Right? Okay. It is used to separate main clause in sentence not joined by a conjunction. Here, a clause is nothing but a sentence. Actually, clause refers one idea. Okay, a clause is nothing but a sentence, you feel. Okay. Often, if we want to express 2 ideas, that means if we want to write 2 sentences, generally we use a conjunction. The conjunctions are and, but, or, like that. Okay. So here, instead of using conjunctions, we can use a semicolon to join the 2 main clauses. Main clauses means main sentences. Okay. For example, I love ice cream. Here it is a semicolon. This is one idea. The another idea is it is my favorite food. If we read the whole of the sentence, I love ice cream, it is my favorite food. In between, we took a long pause. Right? Okay. Let us take one more example. It was raining, the game was cancelled. So, these are the 2 main clauses joined by the semicolon. Right? The same way, the second point is that to separate parts of a sentence which has many commas. In a sentence that has more than 1 comma, to separate each and every idea, again we use semicolon. Observe this example, you could understand easily. Our team for the cultural competition consists of Rahul of class 9 from Jagitya, Geetanjali of class 8 from Nalgonda, Nalini of class 6 from Warangal, and Srija of class 10 from Karimnagar. So, here the list is that Rahul of class 9. There is a comma from Jagitya. This gives one idea, and this idea has been separated from the others. That is Geetanjali of class 8 from Nalgonda. Again, up to this, it is one list. And Nalini of class 6 from Warangal. Up to that, this is one more category. Like this, in the sentence which has many commas, we use semicolon. The third point to use semicolon is that between main clauses joined by connectives like besides, however, moreover, therefore. Right? So, main clauses. Again, clause is nothing but a sentence. Right? Here, those two main clauses joined by conjunctions like however, moreover, therefore, besides, in addition to, like this. For that situation, we use semicolon to separate the two clauses, right? It is, for example, it is a big mistake up to this one main clause. However, you are excused this time. Okay, then take one more example. I don't need that but besides, it is too costly. Actually, I don't need that but besides, it's too costly. So these are the two main clauses joined by beside. Before that, to separate the two sentences, two main clauses by using semicolon. Okay? Here you keep in your mind semicolon is used to separate two main clauses according to the first use. Two main clauses. Again, here it separates the two main clauses where we use besides, however, moreover, therefore. These connectives. In the first illustration, there is no connectives or conjunctions. But here, there are some connectives. They are the beside, however, moreover, therefore. Okay. But other one, the second one is to separate parts of sentence which has many commas. Okay. For these situations, we use semicolon. Right? Okay, students. Let us move to second internal punctuation, that is colon. Colon is referred by this symbol. Okay, it is used to introduce a list of items. Suppose, send me the following items. That means following items means it is a list. Okay, to refer the list, we use colon. After that, we can refer the list. That is art paper, comma, pencils, comma, ink bottles, and clips. Observe the second example. Dictionaries have everything. In our vocabulary session, we discussed this, right? Dictionary. Yes. After this, there is a colon. That means there is a list. What are the list in the dictionaries we can find? meanings, word history, origin, and antonyms and usage, right? The second use is that to anticipate means help a specific explanation of a general statement, right? For example, cancer is a dangerous. Cancer is dangerous. To explain this, we must use colon after the words. What is that? It kills lakhs of people every year. Observe the second example also. The bike is very expensive. Again we are explaining what about the bike. It gives hardly 30 kilometers a liter. Right? Okay, with this, there is only 2 points are there. One is a list of items, to introduce list of items, and the second one is for the explanation purposes. Right? This is our second point, that is colon. Okay, let us move to comma. Okay. Okay, third internal punctuation, comma. Right? The definition of comma. A comma is the most frequently used mark of the punctuation, which provides a slight pause in the sentence, right? Okay, let us see its uses. The first use is that to separate more than 2 words of the same class. So, if we want to refer the same kind of words, each and every word takes a comma at the end of the word. Before that, we use a word and conjunction, right? Okay, see how it is. Jagan, Anil, Rahim, and Sundar are studying in the class, same class, right? So here, Jagan, Anil, Rahim, Sundar, what is? They belong to the same class. That means the proper nouns, right? Okay. Again, let us take one more example. Radha is rich, clever, brave, and honest. Have you observed it? What are they? Rich, clever, brave, and honest. These are all adjectives, right? So, if you want to refer, the words belongs to the same. Each and every word takes a comma. At the end, word takes a and conjunction before that. Okay. The second use of comma is after an adverbial clause or a phrase. Here, again, adverbial clause. Just now I have told you that a clause is nothing but a sentence. Then what is an adverbial clause? A sentence that refers a place or time is called adverbial clause. Okay. See how it is. For example, after we attended the party, we left for Delhi. So the first part, the first sentence, here we can find 2 sentences. One is we attended the party, we left for Delhi. So here after refers time. So we can consider this adverbial clause. Okay. Observe the second example. It is the same. Born in Nepal, he was brought up and educated here. Again, this the first case is that time of adverb, and the second case place of adverb. So born in Nepal is again referring a place. So this sentence, this clause is an adverbial clause which refers the place. Okay. So born in Nepal, he was brought up and educated here. Right? Okay. The third use of comma is that in non-defining relative clauses. Okay, relative clause means which relates to the word we used. Let's see how it is. Mumbai, the business capital of India. Okay, the business capital relates to Mumbai, refers to Mumbai, right? Yes, after this we used a comma. Is facing severe water crisis. Again, is facing severe water crisis refers Mumbai is facing severe water crisis. Which Mumbai? The business capital of India. The business capital of India is nothing but a relative clause which refers the noun. Okay. I'll take one more example. My grandfather, who celebrated his 84th birthday yesterday, is a philanthropist. Right, say, my grandfather, who celebrated his 84th birthday yesterday. This is the relative clause which is referring the person, my grandfather. So, and the last one is again telling about the person is a philanthropist. Right? These are the three uses. Okay, the fourth usage of comma is that in letters for salutation and complementary clause. Letters are two types. One is indent format, another is blocker format. You will learn in your composition skills under letter writing. Okay. Yeah, indent format is an old method of writing letter, whereas blocker format is new method of writing. For blocker format, we don't use any kind of punctuation marks. For those who want to follow indent format, they must write comma after salutation and complementary clause. This is salutation and complementary clause. Dear Suresh, comma. Yours laughingly. Okay. Okay, let us move. The fifth use of comma is to introduce direct speech and before question tags. In our first year, while discussing direct indirect speech and question tags, we know that in direct speech there are two parts. One is reporting part. After the reporting part, we must use a comma, right? Yeah. Sonu said, comma, you are a good friend. Before question tag, that means after the statement. Ritvik is clever, isn't he? Okay. After the statement, we use a comma, right? Then move to sixth use of comma. After sentence adverbs. Sentence adverbs. What are the sentence adverbs? For example, fortunately, he was saved. Here the fortunately is a sentence adverb. Suddenly, Leela left the meeting. Right? Unfortunately, we can say. These are sentence adverbs. Okay, let us move. The seventh usage of comma is that after introductory words and some expressions. What are they? Luckily, finally, accordingly, consequently, meanwhile, obviously, perhaps, of course, therefore. These are called introductory expressions or words. Okay. After them, we must use a comma. Whenever you find these expressions, then you must use comma, right? For example, I have to finish my project, perhaps the last one. Here we find an introductory word, that is perhaps. Right. The second example, observe the second one. Luckily, I got a good job. Right. The eighth use of comma is to separate day or month from a year. Yes. 15 August, comma, 1947. Day, month, separated from year. Again, observe the second example. We can write like this also. January 26, 1950. Like that. We can use the comma to separate date, month from year. Okay. Then let us move. Ninth usage of comma is in writing postal addresses. What we write? First we write our name under the house number. For house number we no need to punctuate. After that, the colony or street we can say Krishnanagar, Jaditya. The last one takes full stop. This is the writing of postal address. The 10th one, to separate name from a degree. Often we find some boards for that says the degree of a person or department. For example, E is Rohit, IAS. Meet Mr. Raju, the manager. Here, after before the department and before the degree, we use comma. Right? Okay. These are the most useful punctuation marks of comma in the internal punctuation, right? Till now, we completed the most common usages of comma. Okay, let us move to quotation marks. Quotation marks can be expressed in two ways, that is single quotation marks and double quotation marks. The single quotation marks are used in Britain English, whereas double quotation marks used in American usage. Okay, let us discuss its uses. First one, in direct speech. It is used in direct speech. Yes, he said, "I'm busy." In direct speech, especially the reported part. To refer the reported part, we use quotation marks, right? Take one more example. Who are you? It is quoted. She asked. To refer the second point, to enclose titles of stories, plays, poems, etc., we use quotation marks. For example, Tagor's Geetanjali, my favorite poem. Tagor's Geetanjali is my favorite poem. Here, Geetanjali is put under the quotations, right? Have you read the article New Mining Policy? Okay, again, new mining policy have been put under the quotation marks. For such kind of usages, the titles, some headings, we use quotation marks. Right. The third use of quotation marks is that to make quotations, to mark quotations. So, great person says, like here, if we want to refer Vivekananda's quotation, arise, awake, stop not until your goal is reached. It is a quotation which is put in quotation marks, right? Then let us move to the fifth one, that is ellipsis. Ellipsis is nothing but placing 3 dots, right? Let us discuss the uses of ellipsis. After a break in speech, his declaration was, the house caught fire, ... That means he continued something. Often in our charting WhatsApp, we write something. The words which are not important, for them just we use ... The ... the 3 dots refers to ellipsis. Simple. The second point is that it is used as an alternative to etc. To refer, if you want to refer etc. in the place of etc. etc., then you can use 3 dots. For example, I got fruits, nuts, rice, bread, butter, ... Something list is going on like that, etc. That means. And the last one of the ellipsis use is that to make a longer pause in dialogue. For example, come here, try to understand me. After come here, we take a longer pause. It can be denoted by using 3 dots in writing, right? These are the internal punctuation marks. Okay, I feel I made it very clear for you. Okay, let us move to the word punctuation marks. Okay, the last one, word punctuations. The word punctuations, we are going to learn the 3 word punctuations are there. They are 1 apostrophe, the symbol is this, and the second one is hyphen, symbolizes this, and third one is capital letters. These are the word punctuations. Okay, let us begin. Apostrophe. Apostrophe is a mark used on the top of the letters. In our introduction punctuation, we discussed by taking one example. These are my employees. Before the S there is an apostrophe, and after the S there is an apostrophe, right? I think you could understand there itself. Okay, and let us discuss once more. It is used to indicate possession. Possession means belonging. It is the same case in the introduction part. Yes, let us take the example Ravani's dress. Here, apostrophe S refers singular. After apostrophe, if we place S, it refers singular. Ammu's books, again, the books belongs to Ammu, right? Here, the third example, clouds, movement. The clouds, after S there is an apostrophe, right? That means all the clouds, the movement of all the clouds. refers to plural. Okay. Yeah. The one more usage of apostrophe is to indicate contractions. In our first year, before learning question tags, I taught you contractions. Contractions, for example, do not. The contraction of these two words is don't. I am. Contraction for this am. I apostrophe. Yes. Okay. Observe the examples here also. Am. There is an apostrophe after I. Instead of referring a, we remove a in the place of that. We use this apostrophe. I am. That means I am. Don't. That means do not. Won't. That means will not. Aren't. That means are not. Right? These are the contractions. And there is a note for the use of contractions. That is, it's a magic you can find. That is, it's good. That's me. It is good. It's got 6 legs. The same usage, but the meaning is changed. What is that? It's refers here. S refers as, whereas in the first case, S refers is. Again, this one also same. It's mine. S refers is. Okay. So according to the situation, according to the context, we have to mean what the S refers to. Okay. Next, let us move to hyphen. Yeah, hyphen is the second word punctuation mark. Let us see where do we use hyphen. In first, it is used in compound words. Where do we use? In compound words. For example, father-in-law. A compound word is a word consists of more than one word. Right? Here, in father-in-law, we can find 3 words. One is father-in-law. If we separate them, they give different meaning. But if we write together, its meaning is changed. Right? Father-in-law, that means uncle. Okay. For each and every word, after that, it carried hyphen. Coal mining, co-education, ex-president, up to date, preschool, semi-final. Right? These are all where we use hyphen. The second use of hyphen is in writing compound numbers from 21 to 99, not in digits. If we want to write in words, we use hyphen between the 2 words. For example, 21, 20, 22. Like that, 74, 30-6, 36. Right? The third use of hyphen is, it is used between 2 numbers to indicate range or inclusion. For example, see the rule 1 to 6. By speech, by spoken, we are saying 1 to 6. But in written, we can write the both ways. Instead of writing 2, we can use hyphen also. Right? This book is the history of India 1857 to 1947. Yeah, 1857, for the use of to, we can use hyphen. Right? Like that. The fourth use of hyphen is after a single letter joined to a noun or a participle. Just like while we are moving on the road, we find such kinds of words: Y junction, U-turn, T-shaped, right? Like that. After these, why we use the hyphen? This hyphen is combined together by using hyphen, like that. U-turn, T-shaped. Okay. Okay. The last one of word punctuation is capital letters. Let us move to capital letters. The third one is in the word punctuation is capital letter. Okay. Let us see how it is used. It is used at the beginning of sentence and also at the beginning of the sentence in quotations, right? Let us see example. The beginning of the sentence, yes is capital, right? She is preparing for the exam. Again, it is the quotation. Quotation that begin with capital letter, and the quotation itself begin with the capital letter, right? She said, "Light travels faster than sound." Okay. The second example, the second use of word punctuation capital letter is with personal names, proper nouns, and the personal pronoun I. Means personal names, nothing but proper nouns. All the proper nouns, whenever they occur at the beginning of the sentence, at the end of the sentence, or middle of the sentence, the name must be begin with a capital letter, right? As well as I also, when it refers a person, the I, wherever it occurs, beginning, ending, middle, I must be written as a capital letter. Okay? Right. See some examples here. Osmania University, it is a proper noun. Red Fort, again proper noun. Netaji, name of person, proper noun. I am going to explain this. I refers the person. Because of that, it is used capital letter. Okay. Then, okay, the third usage of capital letter is with adjectives derived from proper nouns. Yeah, the proper noun is India. Indian is an adjective. From a proper noun, India, converted into an adjective, that is Indian. That is called derivation. Derived. Right? Indian festival, Chinese toys. Again, China. From proper noun China is Chinese is derived. Chinese is an adjective. Right? Then with the first letter of a day, month, festival, special occasion, relation, literary book or holy books. See, Monday, all the name of week must begin with capital letter. All the name of months must begin with a capital letter. All the festivals and special occasions also. Monday, June, Ramzan, Republic Day, Hindu religion, the Ramayana, holy book, the Quran, again holy book, Gitanjali, literary work. Okay, like that we use capital letter to refer whenever we refer all these. Okay. The fifth use of capital letter is with high ranking officials, heads of states, heads of religion also. See the example: the Prime Minister, the Chief Justice, the Pope, the Queen of England. Okay. With this, I completed word punctuations and its uses. I hope I tried to make it clear by taking number of examples. I asked the students, you people, to pause the video and go through it again and again. By that way, you may got clarification and add some more examples by your own. By that way, you can easily remember the concept itself. Right? It's easy. In our examination, it comes for 4 marks. Okay. Some of the important punctuation marks are there. You keep focus on them that are mostly used in our writing. Okay, right. Have a nice day. Have a nice learning. I'm signing off. Bye.